let's break that down. When you say more relief, I mean, we had Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer on in the last hour talking about the House bill to add another $3 trillion in aid, in stimulus right now, which is widely believed to be dead on arrival in the Senate. When you say relief, are you talking about something like that, or are you talking about something different?
Well, in terms of relief, I was on the Fed's Federal Advisory Council in 08-09 and saw up close really the playbook that the Fed and the government created to fight the Great Recession. And in so many ways, we need that playbook, and there are three parts to it, and we need it on steroids given the severity of this recession, worse potentially than 08-09. So the Fed's doing everything it could, doing a great job building on the architecture of 08-09. The Congress has supported relief in a big way, but we're not done. In 08-09, what happened was the states and local governments didn't get relief, and they laid off about more than 500,000 people. And that hurt the recovery. It hurt the delivery of essential services locally. So I'm not sure everything in the House bill is perfect, but certainly support for state and local governments is critical. Only the Fed can come up with the kind of resources that states require. And these are the services every American counts on: police, fire, teachers, EMT, our health system, and so forth. So those are two legs of the recovery stool. Full on with the Fed, which they're doing. More relief is still needed. But then my point is we've got to turn to recovery as well. In 2009, under President Obama, Congress passed $785 billion fiscal stimulus plan. We all learned that shovel ready isn't immediate. And in hindsight, $785 billion is a huge number, but it wasn't enough. So my point would be we've got to do all three things now. The Fed's cooking, Congress has more to do on relief, and we've got to put in place the kind of recovery stimulus that in the next 6 to 12 months will really start to make a difference so we can get out of this severe recession sooner, faster, better.
Yeah, and of course, when you talk about, I guess, a new deal in the 21st century, what would you envision that looking like, and how realistic to think that, I guess, both sides could, from a political standpoint, could come together and actually craft something?
Well, to the second point, and maybe I'm optimistic, unduly optimistic, but I think, you saw the Senate and the Congress voting with overwhelming bipartisan majority so far, and I just hope they don't lose that spirit in the face of this horrible calamity, this tragedy. I mean, we're headed well over 100,000 dead. I mean, if that doesn't galvanize bipartisanship, I don't know what will. But you're right. We actually have, I think, a national agenda that everybody knows about. So we could not only stimulate the economy and enhance the recovery and get people back to work, but we can do it in a way that invests in America in a very solid way that makes sense. And the list is long.
Yeah, Russell, I wonder,
how about our
along
public
those
health
lines,
system?
Don't we need a philosophy for why a new deal would need to be put in place? Because some people seem to be arguing for stimulus and relief to bring things back to how they were. Other people are trying to use this as a springboard to I guess, equalize inequality or something. Does somebody need to say, here's the type of America, here's the type of economy that we want to build, whether it's to restore economic mobility, to give a chance to people who want education or to better themselves? Doesn't there need to be a stated philosophy for further spending?
Absolutely, John. I think that's very well said. And what I am trying to say is not to make kind of radical changes politically, not address some of the contentious issues, but try to pick the kind of investments that I think almost every American can agree on. It's blatantly obvious, for example, that national security has got to include a radical improvement to our public health system. When you lose over 80,000 people dead, more than Vietnam and 9/11, and it sadly is growing, that's a national security issue. We can divert some money from the Pentagon and spend it on doctors and healthcare and vaccines and prevention. things like building out our infrastructure, responding finally to climate change, retooling our economy, investing in education. There's a whole range of things that I think most Americans can agree on that aren't contentious politically, but they'll create millions of jobs and they'll help us get out of this severe comatose economy faster and better. But we'll do it in a way that we've invested in America and we'll be a better country for it.